Thanks for staying with us. It's time to now move our tent to River State as it is, to go to Act 2, Scene 2, as it were. That's how we've been calling it. It's like drama that is happening in River State from what started like a small quarrel between father and son, political father and son. Now it has escalated to something else that we are not even sure how it's going to end. A state of emergency has been declared in Rivers State. It's rare in Nigeria, but it's not the first time. Now, we'll focus on that political storm in Rivers State, where President Bola Tinubu has declared a state of emergency, suspending Governor Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy, and the entire State House of Assembly. The move has raised serious constitutional and political questions. Does the president have the right or the powers to remove an elected governor? Is this about security or politics? And what does this mean for Nigerian democracy? Okay, so we are being joined by our guest this morning who will help us make sense to this. This morning by our guest, he is a political analyst, and his name is Mr. Sola Omolayo. Good morning and welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning, sirs. Good morning, behind this console, and good morning, Nigerians. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Well, River State, we have reached this point in the drama in River State, and it seems like it is the extreme. But what are your thoughts that the state of emergency has been declared on River State? Do you think whatever led to this are strong enough for a state of emergency in River State?
Once again, good morning. Look, declaring me a political analyst is like placing me on a high order, like I know so much about the political drama of this country. The answer is relatively no. I could be a social critic. That gives me the room to spread my intent in my little elementary knowledge in saying things. Yeah, based on the event of River State, for a person like me, I think I was not surprised. Like I have a thought of it sometimes, some few days ago, that it seems something like this is going to happen. Because the confusion between the political class in River State and outside the shore of River State is so obvious that there's no backing down from the output of what we have been seeing on the voices that emanate from River State. And it's unfortunate that people think differently. For me, I just laugh because for the first time, the person that you thought is the big gun here is on a losing path, because this is what he feared most when he was in power. I never think he tolerates this aside of the governance of a place where he thinks he has a say. And for such an individual to be seeing the output of this drama in his state, I don't think he's going to like it. Everybody's paying the price. Everybody's going to pay the price. Now, at the end of the day, we now wait to see what comes out of the tunnel. Having a retired military officer administering the function of the state now is going to be a different ball game. A different ball game. It's like you're having a football match council. You counsel a football match, and you choose. The board needs to sit down in telling both teams where they're going to be playing the next match, when they're going to play the next match, and that can be very confusing and very painful. Because in such a situation, they might not want to bring the game in a popular atmosphere where you can show your flex. That is the beginning of the show. 6 months down the line, and there's another 6 months, if possible, for these old people to work with. It's unfortunate. Let's start with that this morning.
But do you think the handling of this issue by the president is warranted? It's right. If you were the president, would you handle it the same way, or you would handle it differently?
Thank God I'm not the president, so I wouldn't know what my head would think right. It depends on how the game is played. Let me tell you this. This law, this emergency ought to have been programmed by the National Assembly. But you understand the fact that the president has an executive right, which he has put to effect. And he would have just taken this decision without consulting, I can tell you for free, without consulting. A lot of people would have been involved. Yes, the only person that might not be privy to this consultation might be the governor. And why not? Because if you listen to what he read yesterday, you will notice that he castigated the governor so much that he has tried to talk to him on occasion. And it's obvious because we've seen the governor visiting him not once, maybe twice. And you will expect something. People are talking of the issue of godfatherism, playing the strong game, which is so true. But there are thoughts that you don't bring onto the media, that you just discover, that you just find out that why do we find ourselves in this doldrum? So you won't blame the president, so to say, because if you are, I tell you, I like the game of football so much that football is like a political dice that you use to determine what happens to your opponent. Man, you're having a chance to score a goal. You want to play towns with it because your brother is a goalkeeper. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So whichever way you look at it, if you say he is wrong, the lawyers will tell you he's right. And if you say he's right, the lawyers will also tell you he's wrong. Because for every case you present to a lawyer, you're always on the right path.
We're not even looking at the legal aspect. I'm sure we'll find some legal luminary that will give us the legal angle to this. But now we're talking politics. You know, when the president was talking about what the steps to resolution of these issues were, he mentioned so many things that he said were wrong with Fubara, like you've mentioned as well. But this fight is between two people. One, a sitting governor. Another one, someone who openly has been declaring that unless he's given the authority to superintend over affairs of a state that has a governor, there will be no peace. And these two people have been fighting. And one of them is retaining his position as the federal capital minister to this day. And a governor has been removed. Mind you, the Constitution does not spell, outrightly how the president can remove the governor just like that. In fact, before a state of emergency is declared, there are so many things that will have to come to play. One of them is national security. Was it really a threat to national security that we had criminals go to bomb the pipeline, or have they established the fact that it's the governor that sent them? Another provision is that the governor has to write to the president and say, you know what, the problem happening here, I cannot handle it anymore. I declare a state of emergency. What the Constitution spells out for the removal of the governor is by impeachment and subsequent removal. So what gave the president that kind of level or that kind of right to just within 24 hours decide who is going to superintend over the affairs of the state and remove a sitting governor without the process that should have been taken?
Yeah, I understand your position. Just like my wife was, I was talking to my wife. I said, why are you emotional about this thing? Because it's so glaring that she's so against some of the action of the president. Not that he never, the decision is not right, at least to save the state from, because if one soul goes down, it goes a long way. And Rivers State is so sensitive to this country. Do you understand that? You want to eat egg, you want to eat bread and egg. Look, that egg sounds so big. It gives room for the sweetener. But you not want that egg to split down. Because once it goes down on the floor, you lose your egg frying. Okay? So Rivers State is so sensitive to this nation. Not now. The economic source of this nation also depends so much on Rivers State. You cannot see that. And you not allow a spark of light to even go on in that place. Yes, let's say what happened within some few hours ago. We might not say it is because of the drama that is about to come up or what's going on. Not only that, you would naturally forget the fact that they touch the pipeline now. You wouldn't even want it to go beyond that level. You want people to go on the street and you see the poor woman that they are going to march on that day, they are going to step on, is also going to be an indigenous of River State. The stray bullet that might go off and meet some innocent ones is part of the indigene of the state. You don't want that to go on. My concern now is that, yes, who are the people we're talking about? And you're talking of the strong man that has become an emperor in Abuja, that has a source to fight with. And I say, if you are there, what would you do? I don't like the guy. I never liked his ways of operation. When he was in power, he will not allow this to happen. During the election, we know how he puts himself so fierce that even the military need to question themselves so that the state will not go up on fire. We know all of these things. But I will also tell you, the governor is not smart enough. I can tell you this. What the governor is now was trying to do at the tail end after the Supreme Court judgment, these are the magic he ought to have been put in place. And I want to believe that is why the president must be a bit concerned that as a governor of a state, you don't know how to tame or to manage your administration until it gets to this point.
But it doesn't give the president the right. If the governor is not smart enough, we can say, okay, yes, he should have done some things before. But any action the governor took before the Supreme Court judgment, we can give him the benefit of the doubt that he thought he had a case. Now, after the judgment, he was trying, at least from what we saw in the media, to implement these provisions of the Supreme Court. But he was stifled. He was not given the opportunity. But now the president stepped in, and what he did was to remove him, which is not clearly stated by the Constitution as far as the provisions that I read.
The word read good. The reading of politicians is completely different from a normal administrative human being. Get that right.
Okay, since we are not talking legal matters, let me just ask you this. Don't you think it's in bad light for the president for appearing to have taken sides? Because no matter how good Wike's case is, the two of them should have stepped aside so that there will be peace in Rivers State, since the two of them are the ones that are fighting. So now that he's still the FCT minister, does it not show the president as weak? Because if he cannot hold his own minister to account or make him seek peace the way he should seek peace, then it shows the president as being weak. Don't you think so? Like Wike also has something to hold him by.
Look at this game. There is nothing the president is going to do now that we Nigerians are going to clap for him, because there's a break in the transition of political affairs of the president himself, bringing Wike close to himself as a PDP member. That is even a crack already that the party themselves, which are APC, never even like. So either way, something will go right and the other will go wrong. Remember, a former governor of Ekiti State in person of Bayoshi warned Fubara, warned him that this guy, you know what Bayoshi was saying? In his advice, it's like telling a sitting governor that be careful with this troublemaker. That is just interpretation. If I were to be in his shoe, my first target is not going to be the House of Assembly. I will not have any dealing with the House of Assembly. I will first deal with the person of Wike. I will use all media network to crush him. It's about diplomacy. I will use a diplomatic format to deplete him, taking him out of the control of the state I want to handle. That is what Wike did to the likes of Rotimi Amechi.
Well,
He
it
first dealt
seems
with the
it seems loyalty is paying a price now. It seems like loyalty is paying a price now because he wanted to be a good boy as it is, and see, it has come back to bite him. But I think, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but what I think is it's a product of a failed government, even at the federal level, because if someone, because I've seen videos where everybody that was talking to Fubara was warning him against Wike, which means Wike is a known troublemaker. And if he's a known troublemaker that can sit in his office and make public declarations that all the PDP states that are governed, all the states that are governed by PDP, he will make them ungovernable for them. He will make Rivers State ungovernable. And he has made so many pronouncements, and the federal government cannot hold him. Then it is a product of a weak government, if you ask me. I don't know if you see it in a different light, but if someone is a known troublemaker that will shake democracy that we have lost so much in order to gain, then it doesn't say well about our political will to do the right thing.
Okay, we're going sports now. If you remember in those days when Westerhoff was the coach here in Nigeria, he uses JJ Okocha a lot whenever they want to play a free kick. And it's obvious JJ Okocha ballooned those free kick in those days. Even before he plays, Nigerians will put their hands on their head and this ball will go out. And it did go out. But suddenly, he kept using him unknown to us what Westerhoff saw in JJ. But today, JJ has become an international star after retirement. The likes of Tinubu knows who Wike is.
Exactly.
And he knows what he was using.
Exactly.
You must understand this. That I told you earlier on that the game of politics is completely different from that thing you read in the university called political science. It's more practical. If you know what we call Ewa going, it's completely different from the original Ewa. You understand? So the Wike you are looking at here, this is somebody who has a presidential ambition. That his ambition brought his party down. And as a governor, you want to deal with that person. You didn't come with more arsenal to fight him. Come on, guys. The governor does not know what he was doing. And now go low when you ought to go high. I know too well, for sure. Even we can never prepare for this because it's a stain on the state to have an emergency. It's a stain. No matter how influential it will be now, no matter how influential it will be, I can tell you, his pressure will have also gone down and regret this part because everybody is a loser in this game. He's using the House of Assembly. He has used the House of Assembly, and the House of Assembly too. It's so obvious that they don't have a say. It is, see, what the president did now is just to play a pawn. Are you with me? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah. It's to play a pawn. Because you remove the governor, people will say it's with Wike. You remove the assembly, people will say it's with Fubara. Now, the whole thing here is that let's even separate them. Let's remove them. Let's hear the noise. Let's hear the noise. The Yoruba says that let's throw a pebble on the top of a roof so that we can hear the voice of the owner of the house. At this point in time, the people that matters in Rivers State will begin to speak. PDP will say no. The former leaders will say no. Some will say yes. But it's so clear that you are giving the president an angle of preparing himself, staging himself as a practice holder. 2027. Watch the drama.
Well, I think the president deserves a better name than what people are calling him, someone who is more comfortable in divide and rule. If that is what politics is, and the consideration of the people is not put on the table as well, then I pity Nigeria as it is. But we are not so happy, and not every Nigerian will be happy that there's a state of emergency declared on a state that may not have necessarily been a threat to national security when we have more pressing issues like in the security itself and places where scores and scores of people are being killed. No state of emergency has been declared there. It was Rivers State that was singled out for that declaration. Well, I'd like you to give a final word, just a final word to the Rivers people, because I'm sure something will be brewing right now, but any opportunity we have to talk to the Rivers people, we should take it. So talk to Rivers people.
From the report we received this morning from those who are on ground, they told us that immediately they heard about the emergency, a lot of people started running home because they didn't know what's going to come up next. You know, because the military men has also gone in. I told you earlier on that the power of the legislative house has been reduced now. It's going to be fully handled by the administrator that is in that state.
And the National
Understanding
Assembly.
the fact that the military. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah. I said, yeah, the Rivers people should be calm and believe that order will begin to come in. I think the people that we need to talk to now is the powers that be, the wikis of this world, the Fubara of this world, the Amici of this world. The likes of them should come up and put order. And for God's sake, people should know that this world is not a place. Babangida was there yesterday. Look at him today. He can't even do anything anymore. He can't do anything. Where's the light of after it's going to be?
Let's wrap
People
up.
should think, the powers that be should think of the people. And I pray that peace will come to Rivers State. And at the end of the day, they will resolve and bring in a solution that we are people.
Amen. No matter what, I think at this point I miss Edwin Clark, because he would have been one of those voices that would have spoken out. He did his best, but now he has gone to meet his ancestors. We'd like to thank you, Mr. Omolayo, for coming on the show this morning and sharing your thoughts with us. It's always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much.
Finally, did the body get an accident?
All right. For the body.
And the owner.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you too. We've been talking with Mr. Omolayo, Sola Omolayo, a political analyst, and we were talking about what has happened in Rivers State. We were just looking at the political angle. Hopefully, we'll get a legal luminary that will be talking to us about it, because this is a developing situation. It's just barely 24 hours or less since that state of emergency was declared in Rivers State. We don't know what is happening there right now. We'll get a lowdown. It's a developing story, so we'll bring you all the reports we get from Rivers State as they come. For now, this is where we wrap it up on the show, and we thank you for your time, hoping that you will join us again tomorrow for another edition of The Breakfast. My name is Nyamgul Agaji. Have a wonderful day.